G'day, doggies fans, all things Bulldogs. Origin Game 2's coming up. It'll be here before we know it. One of the first movies that I did last year, one of the first videos, was based on that Freddy didn't get Origin. And it's hard to say that. Like, he's played and been a champion for us, and I actually like Freddy a lot. But Queensland just get it. It's a bit of a cliche these days, but it rings true. They pick a side which is the best sort of side to pick for the conditions of the way Origin is refereed and policed. That's a game with minimal penalties where fatigue doesn't really enter the game until, just with the ball being in play a long time, fatigue comes in later. Whereas in the NRL, you can build fatigue pretty quickly just by, teams, if they don't get off that player in the ruck, they get penalised, give up field position. If they keep giving away penalties or six agains, they get someone in the sin bin. Whereas in Origin, they just got their hands all over the ball, slow play the balls. And what do Queensland pick? They pick big boys. They just hold up that ruck. They pick fast outside backs. They pick speed out of dummy half. They've got multiple kicking options. And Origin made players, and they do believe that when they're in that jersey that they are better. And that's something the New South Wales can't manufacture. They just it has to become like that. I think the best thing to happen in New South Wales was losing so many in a row because it built a hatred. But they haven't taken advantage of it. They really haven't. And anyway, I'm going to name a side for Game 2. If Freddy plays the Fox last year, I think that combination with Burton and with Cleary works a lot better. But even in Game 1, they refused to kick in behind. They refused to utilise any variation in the kicks. It was all back towards the middle, under the posts. It eventually worked. A couple of good moments, but yeah, slow play, the Bulls. Just that structured style of grinding them down didn't work. And you expect at Suncorp, you're going to get Queensland having a lot more field position and a lot more ball. And with that, the ease at which they scored through playing simple through the middle, then when they got fast play the balls, went wide, easily scored points on the outside with their speed. And to do it with 12 men, like that defence with Cleary and Hines on the edge there, and then the Fox forced to sort of coming in, backing off again. It was diabolical, to be honest. They should not have won that game, Queensland, but even if they had lost, I think that they would have been usually, as usual, hard to beat in Queensland. But I think Game 2 last year, Queensland that was in New South Wales. They were better than us for that most of that half. We were applying pressure, were struggling as well. They were in front. Kaufusi gets sent off for 10 minutes. And all that defending they had to do just took its toll, and the game blew out. But false sense of security, Game 3, they get it done. So all this talk about New South Wales having the better team on paper, I think in games refereed to an NRL standard, it suits that Penrith style. But once you start, the way that Origin is and the way it's policed and the way it's played, it suits that style that Queensland picks. And they got some really good players. And always will have players that play above their weight. New South Wales just want to do that. So seeing across the screen there, I've had my little introduction. You'll see the team that I've named that I think should happen. Cleary's out, so I think Adam Reynolds has to come in. Nicho Hines won't kick New South Wales out of trouble, and I don't think Luai and Hines, which is the way I think Freddy's going to go. I think he'll keep it within the realms of what he's got there. But, it probably comes down to if Nicho plays well against the Storm. But even still, I felt his game against the Broncos, I felt it was overrated. He's still a young half in terms of experience. I think he's going to be a great half, but playing off the front foot, most halves can do it. He's a talented footballer for sure. Real likeable. Want to see him do well. I just don't think it's his time. I really don't. I think Adam Reynolds is a better footballer than he was, and it's hard to say that, but he is. You give him Huss, you give him Tavita. I've got extra players on there that I'm added. I'll show you I'll give you a vision of the players in a moment. I think Nico Hines needs to be left out of this one, 18th man, and I'm bringing in a whole host of players. So we're going to go through the players in a moment. But the key to it is that you need combinations, yes, and you need players with attacking flair and speed. And so I've brought in a number of changes for it. All right, so what we're going to do here is I'm just going to show you who those players are, starting right now. So we've got Tedesco, fullback. I think he'll go better with more of a South Sydney flavour to this side. I think that they have a really good back line. Brian To'o out of yardage, really good. He's probably the best winger in the game. Latrell's got to come into left centre if he's fit. If not, I'm keeping Critter there and bringing Graham in on the other side, or Turbo, depends. But I'm going to go with Latrell and Critter. I think Critter's playing better in his last season at Penrith. The Fox to redeem himself on the wing. Not that he did too much wrong, but we need that speed, and he's got it. And I'm bringing in Cody Walker into 5'8". He hates losing. They can get under his skin. That's not good, but I think he's a much more mature player. And as much as I don't like him, I think him, Reynolds, and Latrell especially will make things happen in this game and are the best attacking options to go with. Junior Paulo to earn his keep. Now, I think Junior Paulo is one of the best forwards in the game, needs to start. Happy keeps his spot, and, he can get out there. I loved his contact. He was falling off a few tackles, but the intent was great. Payne Huss, absolute champion. Please come to the Dogs. Now, Martin gets his go. He gets his crack now. He was great off the bench, our best player. Must be rewarded with the start. Tyson Frizzell played really well. I want to see him get some offloads away. They need more variation there. He did a great job, though. And now, look, if Cameron Murray's fit, he's better than Isaiah Yeo and will combine better with that, in my opinion. If he's not fit, Isaiah Yeo keeps his spot. But if Cam Murray's fit, I don't see a need for Isaiah Yeo. Damien Cook, you need two hookers. He's fast. With a slow ruck, he's still fast. Spencer Lenu, the best bench forward in the game. Get him in there. Energy. Tavita, I think Tavita prefers to start, but I think in Origin he can come on after 20 and go crack and be even more effective. And Keon Kolomatangi, I think he deserves his crack. Big bench, much bigger bench, more in the Queensland style. So that's what I've gone with. I think that side is more adept for Origin. You take out Cleary, I don't see the point in keeping Luai there. I do fear, though, I think that what Freddy will pick, I think the only changes he'll make is Mitchell will come in, and if he doesn't feel that Turbo's right, he'll bring in Critter will move across to the right. He won't bring in Damien Cook. I think what he'll go with is Jerome Luai at 6 and Nico Hines at 7. I think Hudson Young could be in danger. And he might bring in Kolomatangi for Hudson Young. And I think the other player that could be in danger is Tavita, but I love the way Tavita played against the Roosters, and if that's his minimum now, he gets selected again. But Oitika Manu was on the verge of selection, so he's probably one that if they drop Tavita, Oitika Manu from West comes in, and I think he'll go with the utility as Matt Burton. So that's what I think Freddie will do. I think he'll keep it within the players that he's worked with already for game one and then give them their opportunity. The other options are Mitchell Moses, which as far as kicking goes and speed at the line, and Mitch Moses is in the top 3 halfbacks, in my opinion. but I think Adam Reynolds is the one with the experience. And that, talking about halves that deserve their chance in Origin and deserve their chance to dominate, this is a player that deserves it. Won a grand final, went close to winning a second one, and I think he's a hell of a player. And the Broncos are going to be mighty hard to beat this year. They're going to make the top two, probably win the minor premiership, and they may win it. Overall, I think it's going to be them and Penrith in the grand final. I hate to say that, but that's just how I feel. They've got something in that team, and I think he's one of the main reasons for it. And you look at the press conferences there, they ask Adam Reynolds most of the questions, it seems. It's like he's the coach. So there's a lot of talk about that. Kevy just doesn't get the raps. But, I can't stand the Broncos. I'll be at Belmore to watch the Broncos hopefully get beaten in Sydney, but chose a real tough time to do it there on top of the ladder and looking like they're going to stay there. So let's hope in round 20 we can smash the Broncos. Anyway, guys, hope you enjoyed that. Seeing my face, my sexy, beautiful face on camera. We'll have some more people come on and say hello in future podcasts, and it may go as a podcast as well, but you can see the team we've named there. That's mine. I'd like to hear about yours. Let me know in the comments what you reckon, and I'll catch us around. Go the Dogs and go the Blues. Cheers.